Hey everyone, welcome to Sketchaday. I'm Spencer, and let's draw some stuff. But before we begin, I want you guys to go to sketchaday.com/newsletter. Why? Well, if you go to sketchaday.com/newsletter and sign up, you'll get this free, awesome how to sketch guide that I've put together. And it includes some killer sketch tips as well as a demo, and even talks about the materials I use. So, really awesome resource. Why sign up? Well, I'm looking for a way to really connect with you guys a bit more directly. And I figured a newsletter would be a great way. So if you want to sign up, great. If you want to unsubscribe, that's totally fine, but please sign up. Also, be sure to check out my Instagram at sketchaday.com. I post a lot there. Sketch every day, as the name implies. So if you're looking for examples of drawings, you can find them there. So without further ado, let's get started. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I sketch, or rather render, a cone. Now, a couple of videos ago we looked at how to shade a cube. So now we're going to switch things up a little bit and shade this cone. Well, to do that, I'm going to start with my lightest light, which is my C3 gray. I'm using Copic markers today. And yes, that is how it's pronounced, Copic. I know this because I've worked with them, and they've told me that's how the name is pronounced. Now, with a cone or cylinder, we have these things that occur called shadow cores and highlights. You can also look at my video playlist about basics, as well as working with markers, to find a video on how to shade a cylinder, right? So with that, what I'm going to do here is, as I shade, I'm going to pick a point. So let's say my light source is coming from the top and the right here. So my shadow is going to be cast off to the side, like so. And now I'm going to pick an area that I want my shadow core to be in. And using my 30% gray, and just fanning out, and all the lines converge at the top. As you can see, I'm just going to skip a spot here. The reason I'm skipping this spot is I want a little bit of a highlight effect. If I shade it all in, I'm not going to get that nice pop of white that'll give the impression that this thing is kind of rounded. And again, the cool thing with these markers is once ink dries, you can reapply that ink. And now I have a darker tone. So now that I've applied my gray, I'm going to switch to my C5 marker. It's this guy right here. And shade in where the shadow core is. On the bottom, maybe just go a little bit darker as well. But the goal is to kind of have all these lines converge toward the top. Back to my 30% because I want to create a nice gradient. I don't want this to be too harsh as I move around the cylinder here. So I'm going between the C5 and C3 markers, like so. And it's also helpful at some point to check by just squinting your eyes, and you can kind of see the contrast and not focus too much on all the details. So now I have my C7 or 70% marker, and really this should start to appear to pop. In fact, I'm just going to shade in my shadow here preemptively. At least outline it with my 70%. I can start to shade that in as well if I want, or if you want to save it for the last bit, that's totally fine as well. Totally welcome to do that. Doesn't really matter though. Alright, so just a little shadow there, and I'm actually going to come back to this far side of the cylinder here and add a little bit more of my 30% gray because I want this to really feel like it's wrapping. Okay, so a little bit of 30% gray on this side. My marker is actually drying out, which allows me to do some different effects I may not have been able to do otherwise in the way that I blend, but needless to say, blending is the trick here, and converging your lines toward the top. In fact, light never hits a surface completely evenly, so we can even bring the 50% up a little bit there, and right next to it I'm just going to hit it with the gray as well. And just to finish things off, I'm going to take my trusty Sharpie. Now you don't want to apply the Sharpie before the Copic or Prismacolor or Shinhan marker, whatever you're using. Don't apply it before, otherwise it's going to bleed and look really weird. But here, just on the bottom, where I'm going to have some shadow, I'm using my wrist as a pivot, and that's okay if I'm working on a smaller area. And just the tip of the Sharpie here to kind of create an outline on my cone. Now you might be wondering, why is this side of the cone light? Why did I leave that lighter? Well, the thing is, in an environment, you're gonna have what's called reflected light. So you can even take this camera scene, for example. There's a light on this side and there's light on that side, and you can see there's a bit of differences in the light, if you will. If I had a singular light source, then one side of me would be completely shadowed and the other side would be completely light. So me leaving this white on my cylinder is suggesting that the cylinder is in an environment. Okay, so that concludes my quick tip today. Hopefully you've picked up something here, and you can apply that to your sketches, whether you're sketching a robot or a product or what have you. Again, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter, sketchaday.com/newsletter. Find me on Instagram, @sketchaday.com. And you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you get alerts and you'll get notified when I upload my videos. Well, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again next time right here on Sketchaday.